Greetings and salutations, everyone. I'm Ekamac. This is Limbus Company. We've released a new ID, so I'm going to get a look at it. I've been interested in what he's going to be like, at least. So, let's see. Man, that's an intimidating amount of resources, isn't it? Let's try and keep this episode quick.
오찬이 준비되었답니다. 말씀하신 대로 식사 중에 일어날 부딪힘을 대비하기 위해.
I can't actually reach the tab that I want to because I have that. Okay. So, we have our new identity, and it is available through standard fare. Thank you. So, little brother Sinclair. Gluttony, is it you? 6 bleed gives 1 coin power. 3 plus 4 for 11. The plus coin power makes it 13. Gain 5 aggro to this skill slot. Heal 5 SP on self or gain 1 clash power instead. That's taking a nice thing from Don Quixote's skill 1 in her middle identity. Skill 2, payback with interest. 4 plus 4, so that rolls a max of 16. If the target has 6 bleed, coin power plus 1, so that becomes 5, 5, 5, 15, 19. Wow. This skill gains aggro next turn. This skill gains highest resonance offense level. Maximum of 3 rounded down. If the resonance includes an absolute resonance, double offense level gained. But I don't think it doubles the maximum is the thing. On hit, inflict bleed. At 3 plus resonance, that includes this skill. Deal 20% more damage. So he is actually getting bleed. He is actually getting the bleed fusion gift buffs. Okay. Skill 3 is also NV. Write them all down. 5 plus 4, that rolls a 17 versus the 16 from his skill 2. Deal 1% more damage for every Book of Vengeance Sinclair to a maximum of 30. Coin power plus 1 for every 6 bleed on the target, maximum 2. So let's count that out. 6, 6, 6, 18, 23. Yeah, skill 3s are starting to roll 23 with all their conditionals and 17 without. If said, okay, this skill gains highest resonance offense level. If said resonance includes an absolute resonance, double the offense level gained from above effect. Inflict 4 bleed. Deal 5% more damage for every resonance that includes this skill. Deal 15% more for every Book of Vengeance Sinclair. And his defense skill. Warm up in the east. Skill behavior changes based on sum of NV resonance. At 4 plus sum of absolute resonance, use payback with interest. So that's his skill 2. At 6 plus absolute resonance, use write them all down as counter. So that's his skill 3. Combat start, gain 30% of missing HP as shield. That's handy. Inflict 1 bleed, inflict 1 bleed. Passives. The middle never forgets. When hit by an enemy, inflict 5 Vendetta Mark against the attacker or part once per turn. When an ally is hit, inflict 2 Vendetta Mark. If the ally is from the middle, inflict additional 3 Vendetta Mark. So middle get more Vendetta Mark than standard people, and given how many unbreakable coins are out nowadays, this is actually important. Vendetta Mark, max stack of 10, consumed by certain skills or passive, take 2% more damage from middle enemies for every stack. Turn end, the unit with the highest stack of this effect gains Sibling Vengeance Mark, counted separately from Vengeance Mark. If more than a single unit has the highest stack, target the one with a higher HP percentage. After attacking with base or counter skills, consume all Vendetta Mark on the target. Every time the target consumes the Vendetta Mark, gain Book of Vengeance Sinclair. This feels a bit clunky, if I'm being honest. Combat start. Ally with the least HP gains 2 defense level up. If allies from the middle gain 2 offense level up. I'm closing down Discord, I'm closing down Internet Explorer because I'm tired of it interrupting my videos. Sanity. Increase after winning a clash. Increase by 10 after defeating an enemy higher or equal level. Increase by 5 after an ally defeats higher or equal level. If level of an ally is higher or equal, decrease based on the level difference. So he doesn't have anything specifically special with his sanity mechanics.
오찬이 준비되었답니다.
That's almost enough to buy him with those bought shards alone, isn't it?
처리하기로 했던 것들은 다 줄 거 없고 이제 고대하시던 체력 쿠폰 도둑놈들을 찾으러 가보자고 형님께 말씀드려야겠어.
I like that someone made joke fan art of it. The fact that Sinclair is able to hold a guy up against the wall like this is because Mersault is giving him a boost in the background.
오찬이 준비되었답니다.
Did I mess up my audio set?
식사중에 일어날 부딪힘을
I
대비하기
did
위해
actually.
저는
I turn it down occasionally and forget to turn it back up again. So let's just jump into his Envy deck and see what he's like when he's at level 1. Right, this was when I was experimenting against the Toad, wasn't it? Okay, so he starts off with a 9 max skill 1 and 13 max skill 2. Clearly no good like this, so uptime once, raises speed from 3 to 5 to 3 to 6. If target has 6 plus bleed, gain coin power. Gain 3 aggro to the skill slot, heal 5 SP. On hit, inflict bleed. At the moment it's just heads hit. For skill 2, if target has bleed, gain coin power. This skill gains 3 aggro. This skill gains highest resonance divided by 2 offense level, maximum of 3, rounded down. At the moment, it is divided by 3, maximum of 2. At 4 plus resonance, deal 15% more damage. And here's his thing about inflicting vendetta marks. 3 vendetta mark against an attacker for hitting me. 2 vendetta mark for hitting anyone else. After attacking with base skills or counter skills, consume all vendetta mark. Each time the target is consumed with a vendetta mark, gain Book of Vengeance Sinclair. Doesn't say anything about his vendetta book going down, so he's just going to be hitting for 2 blunt damage up, 1 max speed, 3 blunt damage up, 1 max speed, and 1 power up. Wow, so if he does get going, he can do some damage. Okay, so Uptie 3 raises speed from 3 to 6 to 4 to 6. Unlock his skill 3. Deal 1% more damage for every 2 Book of Vengeance Sinclair to 15%. If target is 6 plus bleed, coin power plus 1. This skill gains offense level divided highest resonance divided by 2 offense level to a maximum of 3. Inflict 3 bleed. Deal 2.5% for every resonance that includes this skill. Deal 7.5% more damage for every 10 Book Vengeance marks to 22.5. Raise the coin power by 1. So now he's rolling as he did at Uptie 4. Raise the coin power by 1 here as well. But it hasn't increased the cap yet, so I guess that'll be the next level. Support passive. We've got your back. One ally with the least HP gains 2 defense level up. That sounds an awful lot like what Zway Forced can give. I guess it might have different... I'm gonna look at this. Zway Forced does do similar, but she has to be with gloom resonance, as opposed to what we're doing here, which is envy possession. Okay, either way, Uptie's story.
그래. 시끄럽게 떠들지 말고 한 명씩 말해. 작은 형님 어디를 가신다고?
He does actually have an envy resonance ego now, so that's nice. Title 125, Section 79, Row P, East Exclusive Clause. Clean decapitation of the offending party using a weapon. Resolved. You sure like to go into details, don't you? Great work. Let's move on to the next right away. Understood. Brother Sinclair, this cur hath insulted the big brother before my presence. What? That's it. Rotate his ankles 4 more times. Then 'tis decided. Let this judgment most fair smite thee. District 8 Vengeance Fugitive. Thanks to the untimely visit from the middle, the back streets of District 8 are in complete disarray. Now that the middle of the East has been away from District 8 for a while, due to certain issues, most fugitives who were either able to escape from the middle or had their sentences delayed for whatever reasons were all preparing to make themselves scarce. But I heard you'd all left District 8! You're lucky that we caught you before you fled. If you'd given us the slip this time, the punishment would have been doubled by the time we inevitably caught up to you. And they could have really escaped too, were it not for the big brother and his little brothers from the south. But, thanks to a certain someone who decided to steal the big brother's hair coupons at UCorps, the middle of the south had travelled all the way to the eastern part of the city. It might seem foolish and frivolous to some, but to the child and the middle as a whole, this was serious business. He'll be right back soon. Thinking back to his conversation with the big brother, the child checked the time, perhaps out of anxiety. The big brother had left the other little brothers in his care, and the child wanted to deal with this business before he returned. Normally, I would have left our siblings in District 8 to deal with this, but I suppose my overenthusiasm has been giving you all undue trouble. We're family, big bro. There's no such thing. I simply cannot bring myself to forgive them. Not only did they dare to leave my cute and adorable diary discarded on the ground, they also dared to nick my hair coupons! We'll take care of the small tasks, so why don't you go do some sightseeing now that we're in H-Core anyway? This place is pretty popular for, medical tours. You should get yourself some of those famous boluses so you can avenge your hair coupons with real vigor. Don't worry about us, okay? You told me you had to visit the senior brothers and sisters of the East, too. Then I'll leave them to you while I'm gone. I'll be back in about 4 hours. A loud dramatic voice broke through the child's ruminations to earlier on this trip. Hark, Brother Sinclair! The news I must relay on to thee! Both acts of vengeance shared to us in the book have been paid for! Precisely calculated among the retributions that have been synchronized to our books of vengeance. 5 of them that have been highlighted by our seniors in the East are now complete. We've still got about 20 minutes until Big Bro returns. Hey, nice work. There's still a lot of time left. I'm sure this will satisfy our Eastern siblings. After taking care of a few lines of vengeance, the child from the south and the other little brothers were having a discussion in a circle. Alright, shut up. One question at a time. Do I have any restaurant recommendations in District 8? If this is for treating Big Bro, I already have a reservation for a pretty good damn roast duck place, so don't worry about it. Next question. So, I wore this all the way from the port. Is that going to be okay? Outfit-wise? You thought to ask this now? Really? Anyways, it's not like we have a uniform policy like we're some legit association. Just gotta be able to blend in with each other, so don't worry about it too much. What should we expect in the East? What are some taboos we should watch out for? How can we make sure that the big brother has the best possible time while he's here? Despite the barrage of questions, the child was able to answer most of them. I ask thee, brother Sinclair, however art thou so knowledgeable in the matters of the East? Dost thou hail from this region, perchance? Nah, but I just happened to live here for a while due to certain events. Anything more we can add on to their sins? We should throw the whole book at them to make sure that our brave brother is happy. Result, remind me what the punishment for stealing hair coupons is? Title 8, Section 20, Row A, Line 6. Complete and total extermination of all involved parties. Well, can't get much worse than that for them, huh? If certain impudent behaviors are observed after an encounter, it may be possible to apply a few more articles to punish them further. Perfect. We should be able to make sure that Big Bro has a good time here. After staring at its texts for a while, the child shuts the Book of Vengeance and brings the other siblings to attention. He's lording over them like he's their boss, but the little brothers don't mind. They know that the child's been a part of the middle for a long time, despite his young age. There were even rumors that the child was to be promoted to young brother soon. Ooh, there's a title. They also know he's been on several vengeance hunts alongside the big brother, some of them pretty significant. All set. Oh, of course, but I see that you returned early. Sightseeing's great and all, but I just couldn't focus on anything else other than those damn air coupons they stole from me. Take this. Don't forget to share it between you boys. Are these the boluses? But these tortoise boluses must have cost you a fortune. Us siblings in the East were selling them at a discounted price, so I picked some of them up. Anyways, you've really grown since we've met, huh? I can remember it just like yesterday, kid. Bawling and trembling, terrified of even throwing the meekest punch. And look at you now, you're getting promoted to young brother soon, aren't you? Big bro, can we please not talk about my early days? Perhaps the big brother's description of the child was too different from the way he presented and carried himself. The other little brothers all looked at the child with apparent disbelief. The child could not wait to move on from this discussion. He turned away and changed the subject. Anyways, Big Brother's given us boluses for our troubles. Now we really have to get those bastards. Otherwise the folk will start to think that the middle's all bark and no bite. Let's go show them what it means to mess with the middle in the city. The child and the little brothers began to march behind the big brother. Perhaps these chains may one day become shackles to hold the child back. But for now, they are in his unbreakable and trustworthy bonds. Alright, there we go. So, let's just have a look at what a final Uptie could get him. So that gives him max SP, gain clash power. Alright. Increase the aggro gain to 5. If we include an absolute resonance, double the offense level we gain. So honestly, you just need 3 times... You just need an absolute resonance. And then you've already gotten your max... Maybe you need absolute resonance 4, but I think it just needs to be absolute resonance 3 to max the power he gains from this. Granted, 3 isn't very much. At 3 plus resonance, including this skill, deal 20% more damage. Deal 1% more damage for every 1 book of vengeance we have. Oh, so at the moment it's 2 books of vengeance. Okay, that's very handy. Point power plus 1 for every 6 bleed to a maximum of 2. But we don't have an increase to this coin power conditional. And we have the same effect here. Inflict 4 bleed. Deal 5% more damage for every resonance that includes this skill. Deal 15% more damage for every 10 book of vengeance to a maximum of 45. And here is where it changes this skill. Activate from the leftmost slot Activate twice per turn. Gain 30% of a missing HP as shield. Whereas here it's 20%. Okay, and it upgrades his standard passive. Inflict 5 Vendetta Mark for being hit by an enemy. Inflict 5 for if it's an ally from the middle. Inflict 2 if it's an ally. But it can also be based on part, important. And give out offense level up to the ally with the least HP if they're also from the middle. So yeah, kind of a cool Sinclair identity. I'm sort of holding out hope that we're going to get one Hong Lu identity before we enter the next canto. And I'm also holding out hope that we're going to get a chance to see a new ego dropped, because there's always been a seasonal ego right at the very end. But I don't know. Honestly, I hope there'll be enough time to extract it with ego shards before the next season, if they do that though. So yeah, either way, until next time guys, take care. I'll see you all around.
오찬이 준비되었답니다.
대부분의 위기 상황은 플루드 니체가 출력 제한을 해제해주면 이겨낼 수 있지만, 원래 이런 건 동쪽 식구들이 처리하겠지만 작은 형님께서 친히 벌하고 싶어 하시니 어쩔 수 없지.